2,000 years. The sacred art of the ninja has been guarded in the East.
Remember the day I found you.
Now, it has come to the West.
Remember what is hidden deep in your mind.
He is the only soldier,
Date of birth unknown.
the only American
Who is he?
who is capable of defeating the secret Black Star Army. The mission to hijack a U.S. military arsenal.
Your destiny, my son, awaits you.
The adventure. The confrontation. The code.
I will honor the code, Father.
The invasion. The final hour. The deadliest art of the Orient is now in the hands of an American. American Ninja.
And welcome everyone to Bullets,
Bourbon,
and Karate. And this week's episode is
American Ninja.
Yeah! Wait!
Alright. Ortega.
What do you do but take the idea? I mean, ninja movies were hot, and specifically ninja movies were hot for the Canon Company. They were one of the few films that were making them a lot of money. Revenge of the Ninja and that series did a lot, of course, leading to Revenge of the Ninja Domination 3, I think, with the woman who's possessed Linda Blair style by a ninja. But then they thought, you know what? We need an American hero to really set these movies over the top.
We do. We need to take the one love and the mystique of an Asian country like Japan, and
That's
we
right.
need to put it in the hands of an American.
That's exactly what we need to do, and that's exactly what the Canon folks did, because we're talking about American Ninja. And of course, we chose this movie because it is, well, this was originally supposed to be released on the weekend of the 4th of July. To celebrate our country's independence, we thought, what better way than an American Ninja, also known as American Warrior, depending on when and where you saw this movie.
Yeah.
But we got, life comes up. In America, we're busy people. We're always trying to get jobs, or as Marcus likes to say, always trying to get that side hustle.
I think that's not me. That's not me at all.
No, that's not you. But what you, in my mind, you famously said to me, why are people calling jobs hustle?
Yeah, I don't know why now. Got to get that hustle on. I'm like, no, you're just going to work, man. That's all you're doing.
You have 2 jobs. Yeah. But we're back now, and we're back with the pretty legendary in its own right cult following movie, American Ninja, starring Michael Dudikoff. And before we get too much into it, let's introduce ourselves and our podcast. I'm Adam Archer.
I'm Mark Hall.
And this is Bullets, Bourbon, and Karate, where each week we bring you one of our favorite movies, probably from the 80s and 90s, but there are no hard and fast rules. And we usually pair that with a drink. You can find us on social media at BB Karate Podcast, on Instagram and Twitter, and that's also our Gmail, bbkaratepodcast@gmail.com. And where else, Marcus?
And you can find us on Facebook at Bullets, Bourbon, and Karate.
That's right. And of course, all of those come in a distant second to hitting that sweet 5 stars on our Apple Podcast.
That's it. Just hit the 5 stars. I don't even want to talk about it this week. Let's just not even talk about it. 5 stars. Let's move on.
That's it. 5 stars. Wherever you listen to podcasts, feel free to review us. Even if you think we're not good, no news is bad news, but bad news can be good news.
It can be.
As long as they're talking about us.
Puts us in the spotlight. Yeah.
That's right. And we are talking about American Ninja, so we thought, wow, this movie is about basically they said in the PC way, we wanted American hero. What they meant was we wanted a white guy to do ninja.
Right. That's it. Yeah.
That's really what they wanted. And so we thought, what could we pair with this movie? And so we got 3 Floyd's American Pale Ale, as in the American White Ninja, the American Pale Ale. We got Alpha King, which is a delightful beer, I think. American Pale Ale I find to be a little less hoppy than those traditional IPAs.
Sure.
And,
Not a fan of the hop. Don't like the hop.
No. I guess as I've gotten older, I'm looking for less and less intense beer flavor.
Right.
Or not beer flavor, but like you said, hops.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I'm eating a lunch when I drink a beer anymore.
Yeah.
That's past me. I don't want
Right.
those milk stouts anymore. That used to be my shit. But now, give me a really crisp Pilsner, something light. I'd rather have 4 or 6 really good beers than 2 9%, 600 calorie chocolate.
Right. An oatmeal
barrel-aged
chocolate coffee stout and
breakfast in a bottle.
Yeah.
So we're enjoying this. This is a nice. This isn't too bad. You know, it's a bit above my flavor pay grade. But if I had to drink an IPA or a pale ale, this is right up my alley. I'm fine with this.
Yeah, this is like right on the line with my hate for IPAs. I can't stand IPAs, but it's like it borders that line. But it's like, no, I could have 1 or 2 at a barbecue. I could see that's perfectly fine.
And that's a lot.
Yeah,
It's kind of like what this movie is. It's like this is right on the borderline of what I will accept in an action.
it is, and I think it's. I gotta say, watching the whole movie, it really, and knowing Dudakov's background, it really, it's really surprising again to watch and see how nimble he is throughout the whole movie too.
Yeah, talk about that background. Let's go ahead and talk about Dudakov, because I think he's a really cool guy who, I think his decisions in his career, and by his decisions I mean his decision to continually do canon films,
right,
sort of pigeonholed him in a not a great way. I mean, you can, on the Canon documentary, he kind of rolls his eyes about the fact that he stayed with Canon for so long, and did all these movies, and he was a big part of my childhood. So when you say all he went through, talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, just in regards to American Ninja itself, Dudakov didn't have, any martial arts background coming into this movie. So zero, just an athletic kid, modeled beforehand too.
Good-looking kid, very much of the time.
Yeah, it is that copy and paste 80s like just jock look. I mean, he's got
James
the wavy
Dean. Yeah.
wavy blonde hair, the leather jacket. I think it's in his Wikipedia page. He's got the leather jacket on.
Yeah.
He's got that shit-eating grin on him, like he just.
Oh, he's perfect.
Yeah. He's got his truck and he's got his girl, and that's all he needs in America right now. But he
well,
modeled for a little bit, and then we'll get into the director and everything too, because that's a cool story of American Ninja, but who decided on Dudakov and pretty much knew it was him who he wanted when he came in for the audition. But then Dudakov just intensely training for his role in this, and really he does a great job. I mean, maybe he speaks like 5-7 minutes in this whole movie. I think
it's
not
an interesting script, and I guess he's not supposed to. I mean, they talk about that in the interviews and stuff I've read. Like, he was supposed to be the reluctant hero, and so he's kind of shy and doesn't look people in the eye a lot. And so Dudakov talked about how hard he works on this role. I think it comes through. He and Steve James are great. He's fantastic. And I think they outshine the movie. And Michael Dudakov, of course, goes on to make lots and lots and lots of these movies. Well, not too many, but he's in quite a few of them. And they originally weren't even going to have auditions because they were going to cast Chuck Norris.
Right. Yeah, and I think that, it would have been a totally different movie with Chuck Norris. Of course, he would have wanted that limelight, I think, a little bit more, and kind of more of him in it with more talking and stuff like that, more of a role. But I think Dudakov, just that kind of out of nowhere kind of guy, played the role great.
It's perfect for that character. And this Chuck Norris reportedly rumored, I don't find it confirmed anywhere, he was like, I don't want to be a ninja and have my face covered the whole time. I'm Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
But they were ready. I mean, they released a print ad with Chuck Norris as the American Warrior.
Right.
Jump kick. I mean, he was contracted to do a few more films, so like, you're going to do this one, and then he got out of it because he didn't want to have his face covered, and then they reportedly auditioned 400 people.
Yeah.
including our boy from No Retreat, No Surrender.
Yeah. Kurt McKinney. Yeah, I was trying to think of it.
So they originally they said he was too young.
Yeah.
And then Michael Dudikoff beat him out, and rightfully so. And there's no better way to be introduced as a character than just leaning against a truck playing with a butterfly knife.
Butter knife.
Yeah, or a butter knife.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful character entrance, and we'll talk about that opening scene more as we get into it. But that's Michael Dudikoff. He goes on to be in, what was the last American Ninja he did? Was it 3?
Wasn't he? He wasn't in 5 or 4. He was in 4, wasn't he?
Not in 5. He was in 4 and not in 5.
He was in 4 and not in 5. Yeah.
Right. Because 4 or 5 ends up with Pat Morita, which is pretty fun. Michael Dudikoff, and let's talk a little bit more about the movie itself. Budget is estimated at $1 million, and this little nugget brings in over $10 million.
$10 million. Yeah. That's
Look
crazy.
at this thing.
That's a financial success. Right
That is
there.
huge.
That's huge, yeah.
I mean, for a basically independent, low-budget film, filming in the Philippines. Now, think about the idea of $1 million in the Philippines. You're getting a lot, right?
And you're filming on a military base, so I think it's going to be a little cheaper, too, with what you're doing.
You probably are getting some discounts in that
Right.
way. The director talked about how he usually had 2 units for his films because they were in the Philippines and their budget was so low and work was so cheap. They had 3 units, and they were able to film like multiple things all over the island at the same time.
Yeah.
So that $1 million went a long way, and they made this is a box office hit for them. Over $9 million in profit, please.
I mean, Ortega only wanted $4 million for the weapons. I mean, that was it. And you got
true. Yeah.
you get a turnaround of $9 million profit for.
It is always funny when these early '80s movies come out and like, and I guess it's just like this, similar to the way in which Fast and the Furious franchise have grown into these absurd demands by the terrorists or these absurd ways of being. Like in the beginning, it was always that cool $1 million. Give me that $1 million, we're good to go. Now it's like, I'm going to take over the world and take $7 trillion into my... Right. It's like, okay. But for this, it was, we're going to outfit your entire army, we're going to give you all these weapons, and it's going to be $4 million.
Right. It makes me appreciate the Austin Powers skit a little bit better with him asking always for either too less money or too much money.
Yeah. It's a paltry ask in the long run, but this movie does well. Like I said, they shot it in the Philippines, and they wanted to. The script went through a lot of different stuff. The screenwriter Paul DeMelchi, and he would go on to do some more things for Canon, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, he only really writes American Warrior. This is the only thing I can find that he wrote. He screenplayed for them. I must have been mistaken.
Yeah, this and the documentary.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiji.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiji.
American Ninja franchise. He, I don't know, kind of does a... I think the script is pretty bad.
It seems like I could... Yeah, it seems like you wrote it on the plane ride from America to the Philippines. He's like, I got to get this shit done quick.
Yeah.
And
they need that final draft real quick. And then, of course, produced by Canon Films. There's, of course, Electric 2, Breakin' Boogaloo, or whatever that documentary is called about the rise and fall of Canon, and it's a wonderful documentary.
Yeah, it is.
We've dealt with Canon before with Over the Top. And all they wanted to do was make movies and make money. And by God, at certain times they were like making 3 movies a month.
Yeah, just keep pumping. I mean, it's just like, when you're single and it's a numbers game. Just got to go up to girls and talk to them, and one of them's going to hit. And it's just let's just keep making movies, and one of them's going to bring us $9 million profit like this did.
And something else we should mention: opening weekend for this movie, over $3 million.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just September 2nd, 1985. Opening weekend, you get done with the film, and it seems like a lot of these actors hold this film in a special place in their heart.
Right.
The young woman who looks fantastic now, by the way.
Yeah.
And she's done a lot of television, and
Judy Aronson.
Yeah, Judy Aronson. She talks about how much fun she had. Like, she had a birthday